Another this time season 21 Pro Precap, and with me we have the one and only Trippers. Evening, Trippers.
Hello, it's Blood Bowl Sunday, and get ready to rumble!
See, Trips happy as always. We're back with the pros again. Everyone likes the pros. We've got 7 teams plus Teddy Tom's Undead But Where, so we've got to try and remember that. We'll do that one last. But there was rumours, I don't know if you saw them, Trip, that we may be starting on Monday. What would be good? Because I honestly thought it'd be a week on Monday, but rumours are we might get to start tomorrow. So, don't know if you've heard anything
It was
different?
like a month of season, so yeah, I think it's reasonable to start Monday, even if you guys are not around.
Yeah, well, they just have to put fillers in, don't they? So it's nothing too hard, is it? They just put a couple of fillers in and then just swap them out when they're there. And I know Hez was saying that he will get his done Monday. I think Ash will get his done tonight, and it's just waiting on Teddy Tom, really. And then I think the pros are done, so here it is anyway. Right then, so well, I always call it the American side of the play pools. I always get in trouble for that, but hey. The east side, I presume it is. So let's get on with it then. We'll start off with Innsmouth Deep Ones, Wisco Tornadoes, who's been in the pros quite a while now. I honestly thought that there was gonna go close last season, but they ended up with 3 wins, 4 losses. Although they did beat your friend Alma last season, who obviously made the final. But yeah, let's have a look at the team. What do you think of this team, Trip? Of what they have?
Well, they look weirdly undeveloped for, well, they are not. It's not their first season, well, in the pros. I would be expecting a bit less than 1900 for Chaos.
Yeah,
Should survive well. No piling on as well. Light on guard.
yeah. 132 games this team's played. It's a lot of games. But attrition obviously always takes its toll. And looking at obviously the divide between East and West, East seems more killy than West. West seems to be where all the nice ball playing teams are usually, and the East just seems like everybody just wants to kill everybody. So maybe that's why his team's a bit bashed from seasons of fighting the kill teams. Maybe, I don't know. Interesting though, like I said, number 5 Itchy is a pretty good one, isn't he? I mean, he's got movement 7, agility 4. You know, guard's a bit of an unusual one to go with that guy, I think. Sure hands, always helpful. He's still got 2 mighty blow claw pieces as well, both on warriors. Got his leader reroll there as well on Black Pearl, although he's now only movement 4. And the good old love machine there on 11 points. Gotta love that. Yeah, it's an interesting team. I mean, obviously they know what's required in this play pool and division. They've been in it long enough. But like you, it seems they're a bit, I don't know, lopsided or like missing a few things. I think last season
Deaths could have happened.
Yeah.
There are like 6 developed players, and others seem like more of stopgaps.
Yeah, I think last season I was saying that they'd have a really good chance because they're so well balanced and developed. So they've obviously, as happens in Blood Bowl, you lose plays and then you've got to pick up the pieces and try and get them back to where there was. And again, there's a lot of Mighty Blow Claw in this division as well, so that's going to be fun. Overkill's in chat now, then Overkill. Plenty of Chaos as well. But yeah, who do you think's their best matchup then?
Best matchup. Let me take a quick look.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
It reminds me. I think I reviewed a playful like with 3 chaos last season with you as well. Oh my God, is there a good matchup? I'm just quickly looking over.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking at them as well.
I'm still not finding a good matchup. I think I will pick Massilian Morning Stars on condition they go Bloodlust.
Yeah,
Help
that's looking.
Whiskey to get some removals, but like even lower TV teams, they outguard them and outdo them in basics. And like when I'm looking at the team in Smooth Deep Ones, like they have diving tackle, a double skill, leap, a double skill. You know, Bill Power Hour used to have like the leap is
Yeah.
famous in MML history and whatnot, but they had a very solid, a very dangerous core of the team, and they still had them. And if you have your players doing what you would expect Chaos team to do and doing it well, it's easy to get value of some oddball skills. This team does not have it, so
Yeah.
it will be a hard season, I think.
I mean, luckily, against the Vampires, he will get inducement, so I guess that's all good. I'm going to go with best matchup, the Southern Generals. You know, it's Dwarfs. They've only just come up from the challenge. They've had not much time in the MML. And they haven't got much mighty. They've got 3 mighty blow, what's all right, but nothing special. They've got a nice smattering of guard, but I'm just thinking if them couple of claw pieces fire for Whiskey, then there could be in a bit of bother. But yeah, it's a bit tough this division, you know. But if I'm gonna have to go with the best matchup, I think it'll have to be the Southern Generals. I think. What do you think's the worst matchup then for the deep ones?
Well, I think it's also Massilian Morning Stars.
Oh, okay.
If they don't remove themselves, because both vampires are icky, everyone has blodge, and like they are the only somewhat agility team out there, and well, for bash teams, it's pretty much the hardest thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe a mirror with either Chaos, both of which look a little bit better than them, but not that much better. Let's say not better enough.
Yeah, I think this poll is going to be a bit tricky to find out, you know, who's going to be best and who's not. Oh, this is a nightmare. West matchup, I'm going to go with the Beastie Boys just because I like the balance of the Beastie Boys. They've got, you know, they've got the strength, they've got the agility, they've got the speed, they've got the claw, they've got the guard. They are going to be given inducements where and they don't have a bench, what's the worry? But I think, you know, Overkill's done a good job of getting this team where they are, and I'm going to go with them as the West matchup, I think. But it's a really trappy division, I think, to be honest. Out of the Deep Ones roster, then, which play would you take, Trip?
Take where for data or trash bin?
If you ever play Chaos, which player would you take for your team?
I guess I kind of like Itchy.
Right, yeah.
The number 5.
Yeah.
That guard maybe is a little bit oddball, but he's fast. He can retrieve. I just like that agility. It's like two mutations in one. It's same cost but less skill slots.
Yeah. Well, the guard puts me off that. I don't like the guard on that. I would be good banking on potential here. I'd go with Manda Razor. Agility 4, Strength 4 is a vamp basically, without the nega traits. I think they can keep him alive. You're going to have a really serious player there. So I would take Manda Razor, although I do like the name Reefer Sutherland. I think that's quite a good name. But yeah, I think I'd go with Mandareza. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how they do. Last season, I really fancied them to do well. This season, I think they've got a fighter's chance, but it's just not as obvious, I don't think, in my humble opinion. But we will see. Right then, the legend that he is, the legendary Spawn of Cthulhu, he's up from the challenge, so this is his first season in the pros with this team. What do you think, Trip? Do you like the team? Do you think he's going to struggle or not?
Actually, like a team quite a lot, and like at 1500, 1610, they're looking better than Chaos we looked at just before at 200 TV more. So I feel that's pretty much power basics. Like every blocker has guard. Of course, Mighty Blow is yet to come, but I like this, and especially that the second run is made into Ball Hawk.
Yeah.
I feel it's really solid. Dwarves like back to basics kind of playstyle.
Yeah.
Get some value.
I mean, it's going the right way with all that guard. I mean, he's got 6 guards, what helps. But I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of Spawn, but I think his team could get destroyed this season. I can see him winning.
He has a lot of guard.
Yeah, but
more guard than anyone. And at low team value, just bring in
it does
the Frola or
it does. But there's a lot of strength for what can go on the edges and pick off. You know what it can't protect. I mean, I think if this team could have stayed in the challenge for another season, then it would have been a lot better come up the season after. But unfortunately, some of these teams have been brought up. Spawn's not. I mean, Spawn's used to with Rats, playing with broken teams. I mean, the most positive thing about this team is the coach and the guard it's got. But number 3, George Pickett's a nice piece. Movement 7, agility 4 as well. So he's a nice piece. But I'm just worried if the claw fires for most of these teams, then this team could be in a crumpled mess. And even the dwarfs of Revang, they are brutal as well. So I really fear for this team because the AV9 and all the guard they usually rely on might not save them this season.
There's 50k in the bank.
Well, yeah,
they have everything you would like. I'd say they are pretty much in perfect position to have like slow and stable wins the title.
Yeah, but if you just look at all the teams are against, I don't know.
Let's put it this way. I beat all of them with this dwarf team. I'd feel that confident.
Yeah, but I'm thinking I'm not saying you can't win. I'm just thinking how much Claw Mighty Blow is going to break these players. That's what I'm concerned about. I know he's going to win games because he's a great coach, but I just look at this team and I just feel with all the teams they're going up against that. I mean, we can say that with a lot of player pools, but I just feel there's no strength here. They're all strength 3. Yeah, he has got his guard, but any wily coach, and you'd expect the pro coach to be a bit better than the norm, they'll be able to just pick out, on the edges and, break, this team. I could be completely wrong, but that's just a feeling I've got. And yeah. We'll have to see.
That feeling we do share, but mostly because Spawn of Cthulhu, his availability from Blood Bowl, at least from what I have seen, is like on-off. He's not grinding a lot of games, as far as I can tell, and he spent most of his time as a rat coach and. Managing this kind of team, that guard and how to play against all those stronger clawed teams, it's like an unproven quantity for me from Spawn. I've never seen him do it, but of course I didn't watch him play Dwarf, so...
Yeah, that's a fair point. Right, who do you think's his best matchup then?
Oh, his best matchup? Well, I will have to go with Mr. Terminator.
Mr. Terminator. Who in earth's Mr. Terminator?
The Robot Supreme, Chase.
Yeah, good old Chase. And I must admit, I'm going to agree with you. This was quite easy for me to pick. Oh, I thought it was a worst matchup. But why are you picking this team? As a sorry, as the best matchup. Sorry.
If Spawner didn't have that much guard, I would say I would maybe look at others, but for Norse it's hard to deal with high armor compact teams, like which prefer more compact playstyle than covering a lot of pitch, and it could be a tough nut to crack, especially since his the go-to Dwarf Breaker has piling on, and I foul living daylights with dwarves. If he ever tried, especially since dwarves should stick close to each other, and likely there would be fouling opportunities.
Yeah,
a lot of his players are just expensive in all the wrong places you want to fight dwarves on, like this 260k runner, and is that a problem for dwarves? I don't think so.
I just think I look at this as that he's going to get inducements. What's a big bonus, obviously, and this Norse team are only based. Well, a lot of the team is AV7. They're AV9 apart from against Kron the Yeti. You know, like you said, if he piles on, they're going to be booting that. But the rest of the team, they've got a few obviously Mighty Blow Ulf awareness. What's nice, they've got a couple of Berserkers with Mighty Blow, but usually AV9 can hold, or it should hold, better than anything against Mighty Blow. So, you know, I think this is a game with all them inducements he'll have as well. He might have a good chance against. He may not win it, but I think on paper he's got as good chance against them than any. And obviously, like you said, you know, the AV7, and you would think, you know, Spawn will try and use his Mighty Blow as best he can to whittle these numbers down. And with obviously Nos having no bench, that would be a major problem, I think. And obviously they've got to add 150k on top of what they've got at the moment, so that's going to be 1870 for the first game. And then after the first game, it's going to be even more, because obviously Ramman will be back. And he's a quite nice player as well. He's got Ramman. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Which is their worst matchup then, do you think?
Well, as it will be for pretty much both teams in this playpool, I think it's Stambiel. As the resident agility team of Playpool, well, or at least as close as it gets, also with 5 vampires he would like to spread, and then dwarves have to decide whether they want to hit vampires, then they have to spread 2 and lose benefits of guard. Or they stay compact, and then they just hypnogaze your cage and steal the ball. Like, there are a bit too many things to do with, to deal with, and especially since vampires are very good at cage opening with hypnogaze. It makes it even trickier, like for orcs or dwarves.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Roik, Rang of the Dwarfs. I think this team's better than Spawns, and understandably why, especially when they get Kajal back. It does slightly worry me that he's probably going to give him a wizard, but I just think this team, they've got Falaku strength 4, Gel strength 5, strength 4 runner when he's back. You know, they've got, well, alright, they've only got 4 guard, but 4 guard's still pretty decent. He's got the Pommer, he's got the break tackle strength 5. His team's decent enough. And I think they just do everything better than the other dwarf teams. So I'm going to go with Ravang in a dwarf off, I think. As the worst matchup. Again, out of the Southern Generals, if you had to pick one player to take for your team, which one are you taking, Trip? I think I'm going to take number 3, George Pickett.
I'll take number 4. I like Free, but I think he is a bit too developed for the rest of the team. He's like outpacing it, and SPP are going in all the wrong places. And Ballhawks, I find them just very interesting. Just how presence of a Ballhawk changes the dynamics of the match, positioning. I really enjoy that aspect of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, it's a good team, and I think it's one of those where it could do really well and get destroyed, or it could do really well and not get destroyed, I guess. But we'll see. He's a very good coach, so obviously, just on that alone would give him a chance in this player pool. So all the best to him. Right, Solar Savers then. Let's have a look. Interesting team. I mean, you're the Norse expert, so you tell me. How good or bad is this team?
Well, it's pretty good, and Chase is delivering with this team. He finished first on his play pool last season. And let's say, despite how bad I consider this play pool for him, this team is just in such a good shape. Well, he can beat the odds.
Yeah, he's got Ramman to come back, and that's a nice piece, isn't it? Strength 4, Agility 4, Blodger. He's got Hanyolo as well. The only concern I've got with this team is they're going to be really hard TV, and they've not got a bench. But the players that do have, man, they're really quality. I love the Yeti. I think he's awesome. Just got to be careful you don't get fouled to death. The Ulfa Warners are solid. The Berserkers are great. Hanyolo's Hanyolo. He offers them the speed and the 1-turn option. And then you've got a nice little lineman, number 11. Although that's a lot of XP in a liner. And then you've got your two linemen at the bottom. So it's a nicely put team with a lot of superstars. Is how I look at it. Again, who do you think's their best matchup?
I will take Morningstar's player. It's pretty much a playful of 6 bash, 183 and 184 kind of team.
Yeah. Killsy, regarding the CCL final, I'm playing Armedia in it. Armedia couldn't really do the weekend, so I don't know. I'm hoping to play the final either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but no time has been confirmed yet. Right, so the Morning Stars, they're always going to be dangerous, and obviously TV-wise,
especially the way he has built his souls with extra tackle, something I would not take, but that's certainly value against vampires. So same strength, just get some assist and let them loose, and they will win you a game single-handedly.
Yeah. So that is that. So was that the best matchup or the worst matchup?
Yeah.
That was the best matchup. Best matchup, yeah. Who am I gonna go with? Let's have a look at chaps. For some reason they spring to mind. Let's have a look at the. Let's have a look at the deep ones again. I'm going to go with Chaps as the best matchup. They're an alright team. They're not too much guard there. They obviously got Claw, but he's not going to be bothered about that. A few strength 4 guards, but again, they still need developing a bit more. And especially if he plays in first game, because obviously Red Stag's out, and that's the ball carrier. And if he plays from second game, I mean, obviously the TV shoots it by an extra 280. So there's not going to be much difference in TV-wise. I think Norse have got so much more firepower in this fight that they could just basically steamroll over Chaps. It'd be interesting to see if they actually played last season, actually. Let's have a look. Probably didn't know I've said that.
Yeah, I think they didn't.
No, they didn't. I mean, Chaps had a good season, but got 4-0 against the Chippers. Yeah, so I'm going to say... I'm going to go with the best matchup for Soul Savers is Chaps. Worst matchup, Trip? for the
Worst
Sabres.
matchup, I think the team that's easy to forget because they did not accept their ticket yet. It's
Yep.
Teddy Tom's, but worse, well, not seeing the team on the screen. I had just to guess and extrapolate from my memory, but a lot of strength. I reckon they can foul well. It's an uphill battle where in that matchup North start at heavy
Yeah,
disadvantage.
I'm
I
just
think.
I'm just having a look at the team for Undead but West, and again, I don't know if they've done the transfer or not because they've got 150k in the bank, so they probably haven't. Um, it looks all right. I mean, obviously they've got the thrower who's agility 4, strength 4, but he's AV 5 now. The other thrower is AV 6. They've only got the one DP now. They've got a kicker. They've got a wrestle piece. To me, they're starting to show the wearer Undead but West. To be honest, they're starting to fall apart. Um,
But it still looks good enough. The only important piece which is missing, in my opinion, is a killer blitzer.
I wonder if that's what he's trying to bring in, a killer blitzerer.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Not at that cash. Well, maybe.
A sort
Block
of. Yeah,
90k. What's next? Mighty Blow. Yeah, you can
he
bring
could
it.
do.
My Mighty Blow piling on
Yeah,
and maybe even tackle. Yeah, tackle
yeah.
fits as well. So
So you think that's the
personally,
West? Do you think that's the West matchup then?
yeah, even the way teams look, he does have a dirty player, something Chase does not have, and
Yeah.
if anyone can keep up with North in casualties, I don't think it's Chaos, I don't think it's Nurgle, I think it's Camry with insane fouling game where just some Guardians hold up as many pieces as they can, and you have like 5 players available to assist for fouling most of the
Yeah.
game.
Well, I'm going to go with the Morning Stars as their West matchup because obviously they're only going to have 11 players, and there's 2 agility 5 vamps, so on a 2+, they open up a hole. Less shots now has got tackled to go with his agility 5 strength 4, so he can go in, try and get the ball loose. He's got a leap who can go in and get the ball loose. He's got a strength 5 vampire with blodge. Oh, this team's just scary. And it's even got a few players. Like you say, they could get loads of bloodlust and start taking out their own players, but if they don't, I think, this team can do something. And obviously, like I say, Han Solo, he's got niggles and everything, and they try and protect him, but you can't protect him against the Vamps because the Vamps will just open up the cage and go in and get him. So if anyone's going to break Han Solo, I think it's probably going to be the Morning Stars. And I think, if they play him, say, second, third game, obviously Chase's TV will shoot back up. And I think the Morning Stars might get him this season. I know these two teams play each other quite a bit, don't they, if our memory serves me correctly?
I think so, and I think there's some merit just because of Chase's play style. Like I looked like season, well, there are 2 North pro teams, and like I do a lot more handoffs. I have 2 runner center pro, so
Yeah.
and I do utilize a lot more of that space on the pitch than Chase does. And if you say if that means he's just prone to caging, yeah, then vampires have an easier day.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we're going to take a player for your team, and obviously this is ironic because this is Norse, which player are you taking to your team, Trip?
I would take Scalavara without a shadow of a doubt. He is the best player out there.
Really? The landman? The landman?
Yes, he's beautiful.
He really? I just think he's a lot of XP for what he is.
He's extra positional, which you wouldn't even have an option to have. He has all the basic skills you would want on your line of scrimmage guy, but he can also contribute in damage, which is critically important just to keep your team healthy. And he has also extra guard, which is hard to come by.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Ram Man. I'm gonna take the Vamp because he could do what he wants when he wants. His agility 4 is strength 4. He's got blood. He's got mighty blow. You know, he's got frenzy. So he's a bigger threat surfing. I really want to take the Yeti, but I just know he would drive me nuts. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ram Man. I think I quite like him. So. Right, let's get on to Rivang of the Dwarfs then. So obviously, got into the pros after winning the Challenge Cup, and they put up a good fight of it. To be fair to them, team's a bit worse for wear. He can't keep Troll Slayers alive these days, unfortunately. And Kjell got busted. He's -1 movement now, so that doesn't help a runner. But what do you think of this team, Trip?
Well, it looks a little bit busted. Like blockers are quite diverse in bed development, so to say, which is tricky. I don't think dwarves are like superstar player teams like Wood Elves or Necromantics with obvious positionals doing all the legwork. You want a balanced team ideally as dwarves, and this is not balanced at all.
Yeah, I think he's got some superstars in there, but and he does well with them. But it does look like it's got a bit of wear and tear last season. But you know, it's still got some decent players. Obviously, when Kjell comes back, that'll help. But obviously, that -1 movement, it really, it just what it didn't need, to be honest. And it's going to be interesting to see how he does in this pool. I still think it's a decent team. What do you think is their best matchup?
Their best matchup. Well, normally I'd say Chase, but I don't think in this case, just because he has superstar players and Norscan. If they assassinate other guys, just won't matter at all. So for the best matchup, I'd go with maybe Innsmouth Deep Ones, just because they have only 3 guards. Sure, they have 2 claw, but they are on a slower Chaos Warrior, so he can marry them with Strength 4 blocker and whatnot, and like I feel it would not be hard to cancel out what Whiskey has and win that, and what Whiskey has extra for Flare and unusual, that diving tackle, that leap. I don't think they will make an impact.
Okay, well I'm gonna stick with Southern Generals as his best matchup. I just think, you know, the Generals, even though they got more guard, I just think at the moment the Rivang are the better team. Doesn't mean they're gonna win, but on paper I'd take Rivang in this matchup for definite, I think. So that's who I'm going to go for. Worst matchup for Rivang?
Worst matchup? Well, Vamps.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I agree with you. I mean, it's the same again, isn't it? They can't get the cage protected, and the encroachment guard.
It's pretty much same as for other 6 bash teams, so it's not even worth extending anymore.
No, we've said it over and over, haven't we? But yeah, I think they're there. Out of all these dwarfs and the Rivang, which player would you take for your team?
The Strength 5 dude, of course.
Yeah,
of
gotta take Gel, haven't we? Yeah, I agree with that. Good old Gel.
Yeah, because dwarves are usually like low strength team, relying more on choking on guard, and this guy just breaks the mold.
Yeah, and break tackle's lovely as well. You Bezo. So yeah, I think Rivang. Right then, the Morning Stars. Here's the team I always almost get suckered into picking every season, and this let me down every season as well. It's about time he bloody helped me out here. But again, you know, you look at the team and it's a beautiful team. Yeah, it is max TV 20/50, but you look at the quality they've got. You've got to love it. Even the Thralls, crikey, they're beautiful. What do you think, Trent?
Balance of the team is great. All pretty much almost all the SVP on vampires, and great, simply great. A bit too many stat downs for my liking, but hey ho.
Yeah, you're gonna get that every so often. I mean, obviously, it's keeping number 4 because of the enforcer with Mighty Blow, but I just think this team, they've got so many options to get the ball loose, and less shots as well. Easy crazy. Give him the ball. Don't have to worry about bloodlust. Interesting, he took tackle instead of sure hands. I think I'd have been going with sure hands. So all I can think of is maybe he's going to use him to get the ball loose by giving him tackle and using obviously the Vamps to open the hole for him. But yeah, a very nice team indeed. And they've got the leader reroll as well, so they've got 5 rerolls. I can't really see much. I think really the most danger to them is themselves if the vampires start taking out all the thralls. But with 5 rerolls, and obviously even and like 3 of them got pro as well. So they've got the bases covered. And again, I fall in love with these again every season. I fall in love with them. And I think they'll do well yet again. What's their best matchup, do you think? If you're gonna pick a matchup, which one are you gonna pick?
I think I would pick one or the other. Let me check again. Well, there are a lot of good matchups.
Yeah.
So to say. Well, maybe Innsmouth deep ones. I feel would be easier to defend against. Not that others would be so hard, but
yeah,
they seem to have least tools.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's have a look at the chaps again. See what they've got again.
Their Ballhawk is stronger. Well, I was also looking at chaps. Their Ballhawk is stronger, which does matter. He can sack a vampire single-handedly. They do have strong armor passing beastmen, so they can stretch a field a little bit more to make them work. Well, I feel they just have a little bit more options, so that's why I picked Innsmouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with chaps. I don't know. I just fancy the Stars against the chaps. I mean, they've got a few decent players, but again, I think you're right in saying that the Stars are going to have very little issue getting the ball loose from most of these teams, to be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna pick chaps as the best matchup. Now, what is the worst matchup for these Vamps? Do you think?
Well, I think it's Chase's Solar Savers, just how much damage they can output in short time, and Vamps wouldn't be hitting back hard at all with one Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
Which also needs protection, so...
Yeah. I mean, these shows have good games. I mean, Chase won 2-0 last season, but the season before, Stemjal won 1-0. So it seems like, it's always a close sort of game. So I get that, just have a look. I think I don't know, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Beastie Boys, just because I like their balance, but they've also got a strength 4 Bull who will pick, Bull, I just call Little Bull. Strength 4, with block. He's Blood J. I haven't got sure hands yet, that's the only thing, but hopefully he'll get that next. But I just think he's a really good piece. They've got a nice. They've got Frizzabid, who used to be on More Shots Power Hour team. He's got he's decent as well with strip ball tackle and obviously stuff. He's got a couple of claw, mighty blow. He's got some tackle. I just like this team, and they'd have enough to get a wizard or something crazy like a chainsaw if they really want to. So I don't think there's something great, but I think Beastie Boys would have a fighter's chance against him, so I'm going to go with that. So, out of all the players, which player would you take for your vampire team if you could?
If I could... Well, pretty much all the vampires are looking quite great, but maybe... If there wasn't one special vampire, I would be looking at Leso, just because he can be that reliable ball carrier.
Yeah.
But Colin of Powell just absolutely beautiful. Strength 5, God.
Is a special player, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with less shots because these vampires are always good anyway. You very rarely see a thrall, agility 5, strength 4. And I just think you give him the ball, protect him, and you don't have to worry about rolling for bloodless when you're trying to score with him. So I'm going to embrace that play because you don't see many of them. So yeah, I'll go. I'll take less shots out of them. Right, let's go on to the Beastie Boys then. Overkill's Chaos, who was still in the pros, even though I think almost every season things are going to get relegated. What do you think of this team?
Well, out of both three, I like them the most, just because to me it looks like they have the most, so to say, sensible spread. Of course, there may be a few things I would have done differently, but I do not think they are important. Just 11 players, TV effective. Maybe at the team value you do want some extra players, but does a lot of things. It has his agility angle, pretty much 3 players with extra agility. Well, extra arms and 2 heads means agility 4.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I like this team. I do, I must admit. Out of the 3 Chaos teams, I agree with you. I think this is better than the 3 Chaos teams. I think it's just better balanced.
I just feel like, especially in West, 2 big boys, Bilkao, Power Hour, and what's Pierce team? Magritte Misfits. I think they were a bit more scary, a bit more developed than this, but hey-ho, it's not that easy to develop Chaos. So.
Yeah. I just like this team. I agree with everything you've said. They're not at the more shots level of, oh my god, we're gonna die, but they get in there, and like I say, even the Misfits have played so many seasons before they actually got their trophy, and Overkill's learning all the time, and he's building this team, and again, if they can get through this season healthy and keeping the pros, then who knows, they might be able to challenge. I think they've still got a chance of making the playoffs this season. The team's balanced. I think it's a season where anything can happen, and if his claw fires and his ball carriers keep healthy, then I think he's got a chance. Again, I don't like teams with no bench, though. I hate it when they have no bench. They are on the AVA at the end of the day. That is the only weakness I can see.
With 150k, I see no reason why they should not get at least one extra beastman.
You always got to have a bench, always, in my opinion. But apart from that, I really like the team. Who do you think is their best matchup?
Their best matchup? I guess I will have to pick Innsmouth deep ones. Just because they're doing everything okay. Well, North would be a good matchup, but North are looking just better for a North team than Beastie Boys are looking for a KS team. So just a mirror matchup where you just have everything done a little bit better. Overkill said he couldn't afford a bench because of the TV, so so I presume after the first game though he will probably get some players, I would have thought. I'm just going to check something on Chaps' history to make sure I've got this right. Chaps is the best matchup because Overkill always seems to beat him, and I think now he's got the better team of the two as well. So Overkill's got a good record against Mentok. I think he's got the better team, although Chaps' team ain't too bad. So on both them theories, I'm definitely going to go with Chaps has been the best matchup for sure. Worst matchup then for the Beastie Boys? Rams. Insert the usual.
I think they've got probably the better chance against the Vamps because they've got the strength 4 ball carrier. But again, I agree, the Vamps are going to cause so much problems. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's not much we
Uh,
can say about the Vamps apart from what we've already said against the other Chaos teams and everybody else. If Spotted Cthulhu had a bit more Mighty Blow, I might have been tempted with all the guard they've got, but I know it's a bit boring. But I'm going to agree with you with the Morning Stars. I think they do it now. Then, which player would you take for your Chaos team? Trip. Which one of these players do you like?
which one do I like? I like just loading. I guess I would take Chaos Thrustlust.
All right. Yeah, because of the name.
Like out of more developed players, I can't really say I like them.
Right.
Like they do not strike me as good at their job. Like
Right.
it's more on the coach to make use of them, which I have no doubt. But as a player, just
Yeah.
something basic, clean, and simple, which makes Chaos run well.
Yeah, I mean, Little Bull really should have. I would have given him show hands over two hands, unless there were sorry extra arms, because then this guy would be amazing. But obviously he's only just got strength. I still take Little Bull because I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to get him to legendary, and I'm going to give him show hands, and then he's a good solid ball carrier. He's good against war dancers, and these vampires will fly in, and at least he'll have a chance to keep hold of the ball. I mean, Fizz and Beard's a nice little beastman, but and Brash is good, but they're nothing special. You see them, in any sort of chaos team. So I would take Little Bull.
Yeah, I guess the only reason I do not like the developed agility players is that this team does not lack agility players. If
That's
he
true.
could find a chaos team where he could offload one of them, this team just sell, get cash, maybe bring in some basics, bench, whatever. I think this team would play better if they sold one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd still go. He's just saying he was going to give him show hands, but he rolled strength. So yeah, obviously it takes strength. Totally understand that. But yeah, I'll still take Little Bull because I know if I gave him show hands, he's going to be immense. So that's who I'd go with. Right, chaps then. Good old chaps, the last of the chaos teams before going to the Undead But Worse. Let's have a look at these lovable guys. They've done well. They've been there or thereabouts. I think they did quite well last season as well. Let's have a look. 4 wins, 3 losses. So not bad. He lost the talisman ball, unfortunately, to them. It's very scary. Wood elves.
Game, so
Yeah, fair. But I think he had a chance to make the playoffs, but then lost to Beastie Boys, if I remember correctly. So, but he did beat Undead But Worse. He did beat Rivan. And he did beat the Stompers. He beat Plague Inc. So there's some good teams he beat last season. So the guy can play, definitely can play. And again, he's a good coach. He's going to have another chance this season. But what do you think of the team?
Well, I kind of like it. It's to me as a team, it's a middle ground between some of deep ones who just solely lack basics before going for flair. And Beastie Boys who just look solid for their team value.
Yeah.
And this is in between us. Like I don't exactly understand the role of grab or just I don't think extra movement is needed for a player, but otherwise basics are quite okay. Just I think just a little bit more development and they will be better. And of course, coach is getting better, which is something that I really like to say. When you get familiar, when you have that little bit of hunger to improve, and it shows instead of blaming elves, blaming like everyone is at fault, you keep losing games.
Yeah, I like there's certainly some good pieces here, and obviously he did really, really well last season with them. Obviously, Red Stag will be back after the first game. Grab on a Beastman makes no sense to me unless he's there just to basically put him in a crowd so he can foul him. Very unusual skill for a Beastman. That I can't get my head around that one. So I really don't like that guy. In fact, I think I'd cut him if he was my team. That's 100k, 40k bloke there. Anderson's an interesting one as well. Obviously, he's got pass, strong arm, sure hands. I've seen that on, I think, a Monmo build. And that seemed to work alright, but again, I'd want to be looking for agility 4 sort of players if I could. But again, he does well. Like I say, he beat some very big teams last season with roughly the same sort of team. So, obviously he knows what he's doing with his team and he works well with it.
Yeah, and especially, besides extra movement of that grab, he has some of unusual players, but they are built well. If you think how I would play them, I would certainly find a value of a passing ball carrier, the Anderson. Somebody to pick up in traffic is also easy to use, and pretty much strength 5 ball sacker when he's blitzing. There are a few really good tools on this team, which make them both special and not eccentric, so to say.
Yeah. The two strength 4 beastmen really do help. I like that. Like I said, when Red Stag's back, the team will be a lot better, I think. But he'll be out first game anyway. Best matchup then for Chaps, do you think?
I think it would be Innsmouth Deep Ones.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Just because they do everything a little bit better. I don't think their tools that matter, their extra tools that matter against Dwarves or Chase's team. Just a little bit too strong. They would need to have one or two just unlucky games where he loses players. Important positionals to have a better chance. So we'll go just with weaker mirror.
I'm going to go with Southern Generals. I know they got the 6 guard, lack of.
You really don't like them.
It's not that I don't like them. I just don't think they're ready. That's the thing. I just don't think they're ready. And now I've said that, they're going to win the division. I get that. I just think they just don't have the firepower. All these teams have got firepower. And yeah, he has got 6 guard, and that's impressive. But these teams surely can figure out that guards can't be everywhere, and they'll be able to pick on the sides and stuff. And they have got guard themselves, and they've got a lot of strength 4 players, and obviously the undead. But where's the Khemri got strength 5 players? So I don't know. I just think, to be honest, I don't think Chaps has got any really standout good matchup really. They're all a bit like most of these teams, but I'm gonna say the Dwarfs because they're all strength 3. There's only 3 mighty blow at the moment, and I don't know. I just don't feel this team's ready to, to get in the top 2. I don't think. But if anyone can do it, well, Spawn can. Obviously, he's a legend. V Power coming in very late. Hello, V. But that's just me. I mean, usually when I have a feeling like this, they end up going undefeated or winning the title, so Spawn will be delighted that I'm not picking him. So yeah, I think that's Chap's best matchup, but I'm not confident in any matchup, to be honest. Worst matchup, I'm going to just say the Morning Stars. I'm going to get out of the way.
Yeah,
you agree with that?
Agreed.
Yeah. We've gone over the Morning Stars so many times now as the worst matchup for everybody. I'm just going to go to the next. Oh, hang on. Which player would you take? That's what we were just going to do, wasn't we?
This is actually the most interesting team to pick a player from, because they have interesting players. Like interesting in a sense, leaping for leaping sake, but like interesting to play with. I will take Peregrine.
Right.
I like ball hawks,
Mm-hmm.
as I said before, and this is a really nice ball hawk. If I were an elf team, I would follow Living Daylight out of that player above others. That's
Yeah.
the real danger.
Right, okay. Well, I'll have a look in a minute because I'm on Undead But West. I've gone into the farm and had a look at them, the Undead team. I don't know if you want to go into the farm and just go on teams and just click the name.
Nah, I will just look at Twitch.
Oh, well, yeah, you can do that, yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting team. Obviously, the thrower, the superstars, only AV5 now. What's never good is the other thrower, AV6. They've got obviously Blitz, who's got Mighty Blow, but not too bad. This team's only got 3 Mighty Blow, and like people keep saying, oh well, they're quite deadly. Well, they're gonna have to do it without adding any Mighty Blow. Isis, the strength 6. Well, yeah, but they've only got 1 DP. Strength 6 Tomb Guardian. That's always nice, and he's got Stand Firm. So he's good. Jones is still knocking about. Heretic Hez has got himself Guard, and Joking Jester is the new Tomb Guardian. I mean, obviously, I presume you can see the team on my Twitch. Yeah. What do you think of this team?
Well, I like them. Of course, well, I can't say they are really lacking blitzers. They are only lacking one, and the other is developed. But to me, it feels like they are lacking them. Well, Tomb Guardians, of course, with Decay. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much how I'd expect a seasoned Camry team to look like.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like. I feel Floras are much too big for the shape of the team, and if he could find a buyer, I would dump them any day.
Yeah, there's 480k in them 2 players. That's a lot of TV there.
They are great players, but the team just I don't think they can support so much TV being there when you are Bash team.
Yeah, my concern with this team is it's going to come up against a lot of claw, and DK is a thing with Tomb Guardians, and I'm a bit concerned about that. But it's got some good players, but like you say, it's basically sunk into the 2 throwers. The Blitzer's solid, and they've got a couple of solid Tomb Guardians, and obviously Heretic Hez is on the way to being decent, and obviously Joking Jester's a new one. 1830 TV, so that's fine. But the thing is, I'm sure he's bringing in another player. And I would be amazed if it's either not a Blitzerer. Well, it probably will be Blitzerer. If it's not, maybe he's swapping Jester for a more developed Tomb Guardian. I don't know. But yeah, Terry Tom's a brilliant coach. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I've got no issues with the coach with his team, and he knows what he's doing.
Coach
yeah. But I don't know. I'm not feeling love for this team. I'll be honest.
They are not looking like contenders this season, so to say.
Seems like they need a recovery, don't they?
But they're looking okay. It's like the best Chaos Beastie Boys. They are also looking okay. Not okay to win a title, but just okay. A strong team, hard matchup for most teams.
Which I'll ask it now before we go back into the player pool. Out of all these players, if you had to pick one to take, which player would you take?
Isis.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I'd take Isis.
And extra strength.
Strength 6. Yeah, I think with obviously the throwers are good, but AV5 now I can't be having that. I'll take Isis every day of the week. He's a good player. So yeah. So obviously, what do you think is his best matchup then? Going back to obviously the player pool.
Norse.
Why do you think Norse?
Well, as I said, with Norse picking them, it's North who have to do something, because at status quo starting off the match, it sucks for them because they just match players with Tomb Guardians and hit you, remove one of AV7s, hit another one. It's like incentive have to be first to do something to get into the match.
Yeah, no, that's strength. I mean, they've got, what, 4 guard, what's not bad, but yeah, they could struggle, I guess. And obviously all our friends, they could get me in trouble, but yeah, that's a fair point. What do I go with? Oh, God. Oh, God, what is their best matchup? I'm going to go with the Generals. I'm going to go with Spawn again, just because, yeah, it's got 6 guard, but it's 4 strength R pieces. The lack of Mighty Blow in this Dwarf team will help the AB7 of the Khemri. They're not very fast out of the Dwarf, so that's good as well, apart from number 3. And obviously when Stonewall Jackson comes back, it's not a massive difference in TV value. He'll be able to get a Wizard, but, you know, Wizards aren't always great. With Dwarfs, maybe better getting Death Roller. Again, you know, Spawn Cthulhu could easily beat the Undead but West, but I just think on paper, I think the Khemri would like to try and bully this Dwarf team, and even if they bring the Guardian, usually they're only going to get 1 die on these Khemri Tomb Guardians anyway, and with most of them not having Mighty Blow against AB9, I think they could struggle. So I think that's the best matchup for Undead West. West matchup, to me, quite clearly is the Vamps again. I think they could have a field there, especially against AV5 Blitz Throweras. Do you agree, or you found something else?
Of course, Vamps.
I know it's boring, but it's like they're just...
I don't think I ever seen this kind of play pool where there's Snow White and 7 dwarfs. Well, except Chase, but
yeah. Right then, so that's all the teams done. It's now time for the ball prediction, and then obviously the first and second pick. Do you have a ball prediction for this pool trip?
My ball prediction is that Roik will play a solid game from start to finish and won't do any of his stupid shit.
You can't have that. How do we know if he plays this thing? You've got to come to a better than that.
You can see that usually fouling is a giveaway. Something switched in Roik's brain. Hail Mary, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad to have it, but when to use it, like... It's really entertaining with Roik. He can play a very solid Blood Bowl, but sometimes he just doesn't want to.
Yeah, I get that. Oh God, I'm just thinking of a... Oh God. Ball prediction. Oh God, I don't really have one for this thing, because it's like... Okay, ball prediction is... one of... Well... Now I'm going to go for something crazy what happened because it's so bold. Ball prediction, Southern Generals will not win a game. That's what I'm going to go with.
It's not bold. You were
pressing
on them.
I know, but it's Spawn.
Whole night.
I know, but Spawn will win 1 at least. You know he will. But I'm going to say he's going to not win a game. I know he will, but you know.
If you want to trash on them, at least say they will score a 1 turner or something like that. Which
oh God, with Dwarfs, that's gonna... I don't know.
Well, he has scored 1% touchdowns, so
well, yeah.
Why not? It's possible with Dwarfs. They do have frenzy. It's possible to 1-turn with out of a box Dwarfs.
Out of box Dwarfs, okay. Does he try 1-turners with Dwarfs though? I don't think I've ever seen him try it.
I don't know. Well, since most of the time they are going for 2-1 grinds, well, I didn't see Spawn play, but usually Dwarfs just don't need that, and that also requires a lot of players.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that because I think that will inspire Spawn to probably win the division now. Me saying that, so I'm gonna say the Generals will not win a game. I know they will, but hey, that's my ball prediction. Right, okay, so let's see who's gonna be the 2 teams going to the playoffs then. Who do you think is gonna come second?
Well, I think Spawn will come second.
Really? The General? You love them. I hate them. You love them. Southern Generals. How much have you had to drink?
They have all the basics. Like they could lose a player or two, but the whole team is just solid, and the only way they can really go as far as team composition is only up.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the best coaches, isn't he? He's definitely one of the best coaches in the player pool. So, you know, good coaches can win with anything. And like I say, it's not a bad team. I just feel it's just not developed enough compared to a lot of the other teams. And there's a lot of bash, a lot of claw.
Yeah,
and he hasn't got that yet.
That's a fair point, but it's what's fair. It's developed. Let's say it's very hard to develop that equally.
Yeah.
To spread SPPs that well.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go with Solar Savers. I think they'll finish second. They're just very reliable when it comes to the player polls. They're always there or thereabouts. And they've got the firepower, so I'm going to go with them second. So, who do you think's going to win it then, Trip?
Morning Stars, just too many good matchups.
Oh, you're falling into my trap. I always go Morning Stars, and then never. You do really well in the first game, and then it goes to pot. The Vampires decided to say, you know what, we just don't want to be in the playoffs.
But this is why I picked Spawn, because if one game goes to pot, I feel they can recover better than most of us who would lose an important player. And with Musili and Morning Stars, there are just so many good matchups. If one goes to pot, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. So you're going Morning Stars to win it, Generals come second. I've gone Soul Saver second, and I'm going to go with the Morning Stars. I'm going to give them one more chance to come good, and I will pick the Morning Stars to win it, just exactly the same as you said. You know, they've got so many good matchups. I think this pool's a lot better for them than the pool last time out. So you know, and you know, if you look at some of the results were pretty good. To beat the Power Hour last season as well. So you know, good coach, good team, and obviously they've added with the tackle on less shots, and the Vamps are so good. And like you said, it's going to be hard for the rest of the teams to keep the ball safe. That's the problem. And I think if Morning Stars are ever going to win a division, it's this season. I think this pool is a very kind pool for him, and I think him and Soul Savers will both have a good scrap out, and between them. So that's it. We're done. Another pro preview done, a pre-cap. We've just got the one pros to do, and I think I've got one challenge to do now. So hopefully I might be able to get them done on Monday. But yeah, thanks again, Trip, as always, for coming on, giving us all your information. Thanks for the few people who popped in and saw us, and obviously if anybody wants to watch this back, obviously it'll be on my YouTube channel, obviously it'll be on my Twitch channel as well, so there you go. Tomorrow will be.
I think it's only two of us right now.
Probably, we're probably just talking. There's a lot of American football going on at the moment, isn't there? So it's the playoffs in American football, so they'll all be getting ready for that.
That explains a lot.
So you know they'll all be watching that stuff. But yeah, thanks again, Trip. Thanks for everybody else, and good luck to all coaches. I know that Southern Gentleman's now going to win it. Now I've said he won't win a game, so we just know that'll happen. It'll inspire him. Good luck to everybody, and. That's basically all I can say, I think, and we'll see you tomorrow for the other two predictions on the final two play pools, and hopefully tomorrow we will start the season. So good luck to everybody, and take care. Bye bye.